Chapter 17. And after 6 days Jesus took with him Peter and James and John his brother, and brought them up to a high mountain privately. And he was transfigured before them, and his face shone like the sun, and his garments became as white as the light. And behold, Moses and Elijah appeared to them, conversing with him. And Peter answered and said to Jesus, Lord, it is good for us to be here. If you are willing, I will make 3 tents here, one for you, and one for Moses, and one for Elijah. While he was still speaking, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and behold, a voice out of the cloud, saying, This is my Son, the Beloved, in whom I have found my delight. Hear him. And when the disciples heard this, they fell on their face, and were greatly frightened. And Jesus came to them, and touched them, and said, Arise, and do not be afraid. And when they lifted up their eyes, they saw no one except Jesus himself alone. And they were coming down from the mountain. Jesus commanded them, saying, Tell the vision to no one until the Son of Man is raised from the dead. And the disciples asked him, saying, Why then do the scribes say that Elijah must come first? And he answered and said, Elijah indeed is coming, and will restore all things. But I say to you that Elijah has already come, and they did not recognize him, but did with him the things they wished. So also the Son of Man is about to suffer by them. Then the disciples understood that he spoke to them concerning John the Baptist. And when they came to the crowd, a man came to him, falling on his knees before him, and saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he has epilepsy and suffers terribly. For often he falls into the fire, and often into the water. And I brought him to your disciples, and they were not able to heal him. And Jesus answered and said, O unbelieving and perverted generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I bear with you? Bring him here to me. And Jesus rebuked it, and the demon came out of him, and the boy was healed from that hour. Then the disciples, coming to Jesus privately, said, Why were we not able to cast it out? And Jesus said to them, Because of your little faith, for truly I say to you, if you have faith like a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, Move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible to you. But this kind does not go out except by prayer and fasting. And while they were gathering together in Galilee, Jesus said to them, The Son of Man is about to be delivered into the hands of men, and they will kill him, and on the 3rd day he will be raised. And they were greatly grieved. And when they came to Capernaum, those who take up the temple tax came to Peter and said, Does not your tax teacher pay the temple tax? He said, Yes. And when he came into the house, Jesus anticipated him, saying, What do you think, Simon? From whom do the kings of the earth receive custom or poll tax? From their sons or from strangers? And when he said this, From strangers, Jesus said to him, So then the sons are free. But what we do not stumble them, go to the sea and cast a hook, and take the first fish that comes up. And when you open its mouth, you will find a stater. Take that and give it to them for me and you. In that hour the disciples came to Jesus, saying, Who then is greatest in the kingdom of the heavens?